are designed to help you win the bid, save on labor costs, and keep your installers productive across your entire build. The sooner you call us, the better. Because when we're there from the beginning, we can anticipate your needs and help you solve problems before they become problems. Yep, Graybar does that.
This is the Verizon Extra Innings Show. Verizon, the most reliable 5G in St. Louis.
Iglesias is there, the pitch, a swing and a miss. That's a Redbird winner. And light up the night in downtown St. Louis as the Cardinals have won the first two games in this series, 9-7 last night and 3-0 tonight over the Padres.
That's a good win for the Cardinals. They beat the Padres, as John said, 3-0. Welcome into the Extra Innings Show right here on KMOX. It is great to have you with us after a good Cardinals victory. The Extra Innings Show being brought to you by Graybar. Graybar is your distributor for electrical and datacom needs. If you want to chime in, you can do so by calling or texting 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. You can tweet at me at Matt Pauley on air, or for those of you who are watching the video stream, you can leave a comment in the chat and we will get to those as we go along. I give the Cardinals credit. They were left for dead after that last road trip, and rightfully so. They went 1-5 and lost 2 out of 3 to just a terrible, terrible, terrible Rockies team. They have come out. They've won the first 2 games against the Padres, and all of a sudden things are starting to look interesting. Things are starting to trend in a different direction. And I don't know what that means. We'll see what happens over the next couple of days. Now they're in a spot, obviously. You win 1 of the next 2. You take 3 out of 4 from the Padres. You feel pretty good about that. And then the Marlins come to town before, right before the trade deadline. I stumbled because I just saw this comment come in. And I have to laugh. I have to really laugh. The real third man sends in a video chat. Left for dead by whom? By everybody. By everybody, except for like the handful of people who really took issue with the idea that maybe this team wasn't going to go anywhere. That was the overwhelming consensus by everybody. So I know you're kind of, I don't know if you're coming at me or not, but I just laugh because you make that comment makes it seem like, well, who was that? It was a media driven thing, or very few people thought that. No, like everybody, except for just a few. The vast majority of people said that. So love you. You watch us a lot. We have to, but I laugh at that. I do. So appreciate you sending in that message. So if you want to send in, for those of you watching us on the video stream, feel free. Let's grab a couple messages that have come in. So I really I disagree with this text, but I'm glad it was sent because I think it creates a really interesting talking point. From the 314. This Cardinals team is very mediocre at best. It doesn't matter if they do by some stretch of the imagination get into a wild card spot, they'll lose in the first round. The best thing that can happen for this team is a major shakeup during the trade deadline. Do you take zero value in playing games that matter in August and September? I think there's value in that. I think there's a lot of value in that, especially for young guys going through that. Like, nobody got done with the Blues season and said, you know what? They lost in the first round. That was worthless. There was no value in that. Man, I wish they would have just completely sold off on the deadline and not won any more games. That was worthless. No, nobody said that. Nobody said that about the Blues. So why do we have, and I hear it from a lot of people, well, even if they do make it into the playoffs, it's not like they're going to do anything in the playoffs. Why is that valuable? There's value in making a run for the playoffs. There's a value in playing games that matter. Okay? There's value in that. Now, is there value in trading players away and helping your organization to get better for years to come? Yeah. I'm not running away from that. There's value in that too. But don't sit here and say that, just like be completely dismissive of there's nothing to be gained by this team finding a way to sneak into the playoffs maybe. And I still think them being a playoff team is not a huge possibility. But you know what I appreciate? I appreciate a team that goes out and wins a couple games here against San Diego and is able to get our conversation and our narrative changing a little bit, because this has been fun the last 2 days. And I much more prefer this type of conversation than the type of conversations we were having when they were in Arizona and Colorado. From the 314, our guy ball game, the 54th tip of the game goes to Contreras for taking one off the elbow and not just staying in the game, but staying focused to get on base all night. The raise of the glass goes to JoJo, Phil, and Ryan for doing on back-to-back nights against a strong lineup. Really good job by the bullpen. The Contreras thing is this is always what he's done. He gets hit by pitches. He did this when he was a Cub. The way he sets up, he's going to get hit by pitches, and then he is able to find a fence in that, and he at that point uses it as motivation. So I understand his frustration. I understand the other side of the frustration. Some of it is his own doing because of the way he sets himself up. But that's not bad to have a little blood flowing, right? It's not bad to have that kind of moment. So I was okay with that happening. I appreciate the passion that Wilson Contreras shows on a game in, game out basis. And it's we'll see if this lingers at all over the next couple of days. All right, 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900. That's how you call. That's how you text. You can tweet at me as well, at Matt Pauley on air. We will take a break. We've got more coming up in just a moment. It's the Extra Innings Show on KMOX.
When you own a business, you know there's no shortage of bold moments. At VOS, we're here to help you meet those moments in stride. Whether it's reducing your exposure to check fraud, setting up direct deposit, or helping make credit card processing seamless, VOS is here for you, your employees, and your customers. Are you ready for a better banking experience? Then make the bold move and switch to VOS today. Visit bankwithvos.com. Member FDIC.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Now, back to the Verizon Extra Innings Show.
Cardinals get the win over the Padres 3-0. Welcome back into the program. My name's Matt Pauley. Great to have you with us tonight. Flo Rida is like probably a football field away from me, maybe 80 yards away from me. I don't know, not that far away, doing a post-game concert. That's why if you're looking for Friday Night Live by Lowe's, we don't have it on the Friday nights where they do the post-game concerts. So Flo Rida is out there working hard. I can see it up on my video screen here in the studio. Lots of folks are here. So that's fun for everybody. Love the Friday night vibe that the Cardinals have been able to create here at Busch Stadium this year. If you want to chime in, 314-436-7900, 314-436-7900, call or text, tweet at me, at Matt Pauley on air, MattPauley on air. Or you can leave a comment in the chat if you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. Peter sends in a message, says the Cardinals need to get their act back together. They need to win more games in this second half and hopefully make it into the playoffs. The door's open, right? The door's open. They're not buried by any sense of the mind. Do they look like a playoff team compared to some of these other teams? Like, I think the thing that scares me about the Cardinals when you look at some of these other teams that they're competing against for a wild card spot is the really high-end talent that some of these other teams have that the Cardinals just don't have. And that's not a shot at the current Cardinals players, because I like most of these guys and I think they fill roles. But like we've talked about this. I had a conversation about this today with somebody where you look at the Cubs and you look at their lineup with a Kyle Tucker and a Seiya Suzuki, and like up and down, They've got these high-level players, and the Cardinals are still missing some of that, but to their credit, they find a way to beat good teams. I don't know why this Padres team should be better than they are. And I know they're the team holding the final wild card spot right now. They are one of the worst run scoring teams in Major League Baseball. Here's one for you. I bet a lot of people don't know this. I was texting somebody today about this. I got to find this again. All right. So where is this number? Padres have scored 414 runs this year. The Cardinals have scored 473. Again, Padres 414 runs scored this year. Cardinals 473. San Diego has a lineup with Tatis, Arise, Machado, Merrill, Bogarts. A lot of really good players there. San Diego has scored 414 runs. Cardinals have scored 473. In fact, the only teams that have scored less runs than the San Diego Padres this year are the Guardians, the White Sox, the Rockies, the Royals, and the Pirates. I don't know why. San Diego should have a lot more runs scored than they do. They don't, and they got shut out tonight. They go 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Even with, like, I'm not trying to make this like the take shots at San Diego show, but even with them being in this final wild card spot, they're an underachieving team based off what they are doing from an offensive standpoint. Now they've got some other things going on, and they've pitched well. I felt a little bit bad for Nick Pivetta. He deserved a little bit more today. I thought he looked really good out there. But he just didn't get anything from his offense, and the Cardinals take advantage of it, and the Cardinals do come away with the win, winning by a 3-0 score. Text message from 314 says, I don't think it's so black and white that the Cardinals need to be buyers or sellers. I do think they should trade Helsley because they'll likely lose him anyways, but no reason that they can't add a controllable player to the team too in a way that would help for future years. Have another person texting in from the 636 saying the exact opposite, saying don't trade Helsley. You can offer him the qualifying offer, and if he declines it, you get the draft pick. You know, Bob Nightingale has said from USA Today and Baseball Insider, he's just said both here on KMOX, and he's written that he doesn't think the Cardinals would give the qualifying offer to Ryan Helsley. If that's the case, I would very respectfully disagree with that decision. If you're a relief pitcher and you are set up to go get a multi-year deal like Ryan Helsley would be, you go get it. So you reject the qualifying offer. If Helsley makes the decision that he wants to put together a season like he had last year, so he'll go ahead and just take the qualifying offer, yeah, you're paying a bunch of money. It's like $23 million. You're paying a lot of money for Helsley. But the old adage in baseball is there's no such thing as a bad one-year contract. Okay, you pay him that for the year, and you go. So if I'm making the decisions and I'm the Cardinals, man, I'm doing the qualifying offer for Helsley if I don't trade him. That's for sure. And yeah, that's where I would be at on that. Runs against Cards against San Diego. Let's see if I can find that really quickly. If I can't find that really quickly, I can try to look that up for a future show. Yeah, that's not going to be super easy for me to find. But I can give you team ERAs, right? Like that tells a lot of that story. San Diego has a team ERA of 3.62, and the Cardinals have a team ERA of 4.19. So that's the Padres obviously don't give up as many runs as the Cardinals. But again, the run score, you think of the big names that the Padres have and the lack of runs scored. That is, it's interesting to see that. Text message from 314 says that they love seeing Herrera come back strong. And yeah, that's Herrera is such a big part of this team. Such a big part of the team in what he has been able to do this year. When he's out, the team is just not the same. And he's emerging into a big time middle of the order hitter. And that's another reason that like Ivan Herrera is one of those guys that I'd love for him to experience going through a postseason chase, maybe sneak into the playoffs, go through things like that. By the way, the runs for, runs against, thanks to the real third man. Tell me where to go get it really quickly, which I should know. Cardinals runs against this year, runs allowed. They have allowed 472. So their run differential is +1. The San Diego Padres. I almost went back in time. That'd be no good. They have allowed 403 runs this year. So they have allowed obviously about 68, 69 less runs than the Cardinals. Jeremy sends in a message, says Mason Wynn has 13 hits since the All-Star break. He's killing it since the All-Star break. It's really good to see. I know he is fighting through a knee issue, so happy to see him be able to do that. What's on Deck, sponsored by Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best, chesterfieldfence.com. Cardinals, Padres, game number 3 of the 4-game set tomorrow night. Matthew Liberatore against Randy Vasquez, 6:15 first pitch, our coverage at 5:20. Thanks so much for being tuned in tonight. We'll talk to you again tomorrow for more Cardinals baseball right here on your home of the Cardinals, 104.1 FM KMOX.